Hello and welcome to the second channel for Tales from the Trip. I'm your host, the Trip Keeper. And on today's video, we're going to be doing the Q&A session that I put off for 13 days. I was going to do this 12 days ago, but I decided not to because I was tired, and then I've been tired every single day, and I'm tired today. But hey, I'm in a good enough mood to do it. Because I ain't got nothing else planned right now, so might as well. Got the Miller High Lifes. I mean, clutch ass Miller High Lifes. Drink this so often. So good. The best beer. It took over the best beer in the world for me. Just very classic taste and just tastes like a beer. And it looks nice, love the design. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna get started on this, and I found out I actually have a kid that my wife left me. So you're telling me that you can't move back in, and you're gonna give me the kid to take care of? Can you believe this shit? What side are you guys on? Leave in the comment section below if she should take the kid if she wants to move out. Yeah, I didn't even know we had a kid. You brought him out yesterday. 5 years old? This fucking bitch. Seriously, like, how many times do I have to tell this woman to leave me alone? I don't want to deal with anything. And this kid, I had no idea who he was. Maybe he's not even mine. I mean, he doesn't even have the same skin color as me, so he's probably not mine. Yeah, I know who you're sleeping with. This fucking bitch. Get out, please. Just get out. All right, let's get started before she starts, like, fucking nagging me about making soup or some shit. All right. We got the first question by Asashi2102. How did drug abuse impact your life? Well, my cousin was addicted to drugs and she died. So, yeah, impacted me pretty hard. Best and worst drug experience. I've gone over this many times, but my best experience is probably, what is my best experience? I've gone over the worst drug experience all the time. The best one, though, Morning Glory has always been one of my favorite experiences. A lot of people have terrible times on it, but I thought it was fun. The feel of it was nice. Yeah. Uh, and probably just being on Adderall. I love Adderall. Love any kind of stimulant. Vyvanse, Concerta, any of those I'll take. But the worst one, I've been over this. It's either the Benadryl one where I almost got crushed by the semi, or the Hawaiian Baby Wood Roast where I thought I was just bones. Or the shroom experience, my second shroom trip, where I thought I was dead. Now, I made videos on every single one of these. So, yeah, just go look it up because I've talked about it so many times, and I'm just going over it briefly. What was your first experience and what drove you to take it? My first experience was Lyrica. What drove me to take it? Felt pressured to do something because everyone else thought drugs was cool, so I'm like, hey, I'll take it too. Don't ever do that. Don't let people telling you that drugs are cool to do it yourself. Please don't do that. It can lead down terrible paths. Also, really happy your channel is back. Fuck censorship. Yeah, fuck all these people. I don't know why I had to deal with that, but we're back anyway. I'm demonetized. Can apply to be remonetized in May. So yeah, doing these videos for free right now. Well, the second channel is still monetized, but the main channel is currently not. So that's why I've been not uploading as much because like I'm still trying to get them out. But I'm not trying to overwork myself because I do need a little break here, and this is honestly a good opportunity for me to take a break. Now, a break meaning like still uploading, but just not as much as I was doing 3 videos a week. Like, I was working myself to death while working the post office. Like, honestly, it could have been a blessing in disguise that I got terminated and then got demonetized when I got it back because I really have felt a lot better, felt less stressed out. But yeah, I do want to get remonetized for sure. Don't get me wrong, but life has been a lot easier without it not being. But the money was very nice. I will say that the money, along with my post office money, man, I was ranking in bank though. Like it was fun. It was a fun time. Um, but yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine. Don't worry about me. I have a stable job at the post office. I will be perfectly fine. It was just nice getting extra money every month. But we're gonna move on. Maybe I'll get money again. We just gotta reapply and hope for the best. But if not, fuck it. Who cares? I actually do care a little bit. I do hope it happens, I shall say, but I do need this break. I really do. And I'm going to take it. Next question is at official Markiplier. Hello, Markiplier. I'm surprised you're in this comment section. Favorite pony from My Little Pony? Probably the one that was like, "Hey, I'm My Little Pony, bitch." Whichever one said that. B. Allen 2743 says, "Is there a personal experience that drives your utter fascination with the darkest aspects of drug use and altered states of mind? If so, what happened?" Um, yeah, probably that Hawaiian baby wood roast trip. Definitely a very dark trip. Just the feeling like bones, vasoconstriction. Felt like my body was all purple. My teeth were very crooked inside my mouth. And then just looking in the mirror, I went back to normal. Like the mirror was keeping me grounded. Like I knew I was real at that point. But yeah. This next one at Keep Search. Wait. Keep searching, won't find nothing. Favorite show, favorite song. Favorite show, it is officially The Sopranos. Just got done with Breaking Bad. Both very, very stellar shows, stellar pieces of TV history. But I'm gonna have to pick The Sopranos with a slight margin. It is close, but I would still say confidently it's The Sopranos. Favorite song? I can't answer that. There's too many good songs. There's one song that always sticks with me though. It's called "End of the Page" by Bulbous Creation. It's just very, I don't know. There's something about it. The guitar, the vocals, it's very nice. And "Who Knows Where the Time Goes" by Fairport Convention. I love that song. Um, yeah, I really can't say because there's so much music that I listen to. But and it changes. But those ones stay constant. I've been liking those for a long time. Maybe a Led Zeppelin song like "Days Confused," but I haven't listened to that as much recently. But yeah, that it's hard to pick. You can't pick your favorite song. It is just impossible. You can pick your favorite album, but you can't pick your favorite song. Alex Rule 8539 says, "I've always wanted to know if you do your own art or have someone else do it. I've never seen it anywhere else." Well, what I do is I have this specific prompt that I enter in this AI website that is currently, or they're going to be taking away the credits. So I will soon not be able to do this. I'll have to find a new website, but I have this specific prompt that sets me up with good images, and I try to find good ones. Sometimes they give you it right away, and it's really easy to do the thumbnail, but most of the time I'm looking for multiple images, and I'm removing the background, putting in places, I'm adding like I'm doing it multiple times. I'm just like adding a lot of edits to it and stuff, and I put it together, and that's how I make a thumbnail. But yeah, it's a very helpful service. I don't think AI is going to be positive in the future, but right now I say we take advantage of it. It's not going anywhere else. Um, Kyle Wick says 3760. If you're into cars, favorite vehicle of all time, and thank God the channel's back. Yeah, I'm not really into cars, but thank you that yes, the channel's back. I'm happy about that, and I appreciate you. But if I had to choose a car, I really don't know any names, but there are some cool ones out there. I'll tell you that. Um, Fent Consumer, shout out. Does the Trip Keeper listen to net spend? No, I don't. I'm sorry. Um, Hans Moleman 42069 42069, excuse me. You ever smoke something called hookah blast? Nope, I have not. Because I did once and it had me seeing 10 of everything and hearing echoes, bizarre stuff. Also, do you have a favorite strain? Mine is either headband or Jack Harar. Um, well, the hookah blast sounds like K2, if that was happening to you, seeing 10 of everything. And I do not have a favorite strain. All the strains feel the same to me. And people who say that strains affect you differently, it does not work with me. There are just some people that weed affects the same way no matter what it is. And that's what happens to me. Take a hit of indica, sativa, whatever. I feel the same way. I get an instant panic attack, and people just find that hard to believe, but it happens. Just take a hit or a couple hits, and I will instantly start getting very anxious and shaking and a bunch of crap. So I just don't smoke. Even the smell of weed gives me anxiety. Looking at it, thinking about it, I don't know why. I really don't, and it pisses me off because I would love to be smoking, but I can't. I just really can't. Iceberg 1428. Would you argue that needle exchange programs are ethical? Well, is that where they switch out for clean needles? Because I mean, it seems pretty ethical if they're gonna do it. At least that's the ethical way of doing it. But yeah, at HPPD, that's a great username to have. I don't know how you got that, but you got a good one. You should start a channel with that now. How is it that you came into this niche? Basically, I had the idea one day, and a couple years later, I started it, and people started watching, liking it, and I was like, damn, like I'll make another one, and then I'll make another one, and then I'll make another one, and it became this, and yeah. Aaron Kiersnowski says, "What is your dream city to live in?" Now, I haven't been, traveling too much, but I have recently over the past couple of years. I've been to Boston, New Jersey, South Carolina, but I still need to visit some places. But I would love to live in a nice cabin somewhere in like Washington or Oregon, but I did love Cape May, New Jersey. That is just a very nice city. I would love to live off the beach over there. Maybe not in the wintertime. I feel like that might not be as fun. But in the summer, I'd love to get a $5 million beach house right off the beach there. That would be really nice. But yeah, I like to live there. I had a good time. I'd be close to Atlantic City. Atlantic City was very fun. And you'd be close to New York too, a little bit. You'd be close to a lot of stuff. Um, Next one, randomly Phil 2726. Why did you use DPH and Phenibut? Um, I couldn't tell you why I used DPH. I really did not feel good off of it. I just did it to do something, I guess, and that was when I was like 18 years old. So, it's hard to explain it anything I did when I was 18. And Phenibut, I took Phenibut because it made me more talkative, more sociable, more happy with people. It made music sound a lot better, like insanely better. And like I would wake up the next day and I'd still be high, but I would have to do those were some really high doses because I've done smaller doses recently, um, and I think that it's definitely not as strong because I was just pouring powder after powder inside orange juice or whatever. I was drinking it. And that was really affecting me. I don't think the capsules affect you as much, and you got to do a bunch more. But I think the capsules are definitely safer because you're doing a controlled amount with the powder and the scoop. Like it says it's 500 milligrams, but really you're just eyeballing it, sort of. You got to like make it even on the surface. But before, I was just picking it up and scooping and be like, oh, that's point 0.5, that's point 0.5. But it was probably like over a gram each scoop that I was doing, maybe like point 0.8 or something. And I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, it's definitely addicting. I'll tell you that. Luckily, the withdrawals has only affected me once. So yeah, it is definitely not safe to do. I don't recommend any of these, especially DPH. Phenibut is not something you should do. You should just never do it because if you do, then you're gonna like it. And you don't want to like it because it's hard to find nowadays. Like there's only a couple websites you can buy it off of, because Lift Mode used to be a huge supplier of it, but they must have got like the government must have got to them or something, but they were selling it. That's where I got it all the time. It had the best quality. Like you could feel the difference. It's just not the same anywhere else. So yeah, you're not gonna get any high quality one if you do buy it. So don't do it. Um, Frost GD 8040 says, "What advice would you give any person that is new to drugs, thinking about diving into the matter? Do you have regrets when it comes to certain or all drugs? Are there things you wish you had known beforehand?" Um, well, advice I would give: stay away. Don't even look into it. Weed, whatever. Shrooms, whatever. You can experiment with Molly sometimes. Whatever. Just don't do anything that people tell you to stay away from. Like any kind of pill. Definitely don't inject anything. I mean, just that when you get to that part, it is hard to come back down from that. Definitely don't do inhalants like gasoline. I mean, I still don't understand why I have to tell people not to do that, but people don't listen, and that is probably the worst thing you could do. Stay away from over-the-counter medicines. Just don't do any of that. Just if you're gonna do something, just keep it to weed and maybe some shrooms. That's it. They're natural. They're the safer drugs. Maybe don't even smoke weed. Like do small edibles, or big ones. I don't care, because you're still inhaling shit into your lungs, and it is not smoke. No matter what it is not good for you. Shrooms are actually labeled as the safest drug you can do by fucking people who study it, like scientists and shit. So, that's the only drug I would ever really recommend, at least to try it. Like you could have a bad time, you never do it again. But yeah, I don't recommend any other drug. Really, I don't. I don't even recommend weed. I don't really recommend any of these. But if you're gonna do something, stick to those. Stick to those natural shit, and don't just assume something natural is good, because Datura is natural. You don't ever want to do Datura. But yeah, I have regrets definitely starting. Doing that Lyrica first. Like at the time, it wasn't that big a deal. But then I started smoking, and it's just smoking. Like I was having a good time, but just yeah, I regret even doing it to begin with. Are there things you wish you had known beforehand? Well, there are a couple things, but mostly I kind of figured I knew a lot of stuff. I was pretty educated on this topic. I would always read Arrowwood reports, even when I was like not. I didn't do drugs, so I always thought they were interesting. But yeah. This next person says 1457. Yay! Trip King returns for the Q&A. What's your most and least favorite things about being a content creator? Oh, excuse me. I had Burger King today. That shit was delicious. Um, my most favorite things about being a content creator is probably the gratification you get from uploading and seeing people message you and saying, you do great. Just the positive reinforcements that I get. The monetary gains, where it was nice when I was getting it. That's a positive. Um, and just, you know, people want to listen to you. And that's a good feeling. Like, there's times where I still like people who don't know about my YouTube channel, don't know what I do. I'll be talking and I could tell, some of these people aren't interested, but I'm sure if I told them I had a YouTube channel, they would start listening. And then I'd be like, fuck you. You weren't interested before. Why are you interested now? But yeah, that's probably my favorite. Just like, getting support when, you weren't really doing anything. You're just living a boring old life. And now it's interesting, least favorite things. It could be really rude people for no reason, like they just say whatever they want online. People just message you whatever. They don't think there's a real person back there, whether it's even nice or mean, whatever you're saying. Like you just get the most random messages, and you have to ignore them at that point, because you should see what some people have said to me in the past. It is just crazy, and still do. So yeah. The stress of it all is very stressful once you get monetized because you're on a schedule, and plus me having the job at the post office, like it that is just so much work to do. I'm barely able to do my normal job, and just adding this on top of it, doing work, making videos after work on my days off. Like you don't get any time off with this shit. If I was full time with the YouTube, I probably would be better. But yeah, since I got the job already, it does not help. Um, Least favorite things also, just like I don't know. Um, yeah, like people, like I said, people being rude sometimes, people just being crazy. Because that could really, if you wake up and that's the first thing you see, you're like, well, I'm gonna start a perfect day, and you have to worry about what you have to say. Like you can't really be open. Like I could be open here, but there's things you just can't say. And everyone knows. Everyone says things that they don't like they don't want to get out, or they not to get out, but like they wouldn't say it in front of people. But yeah, you got to be careful with what you say at all times. Like if you say the most, like even if it's just a little offensive, you can be canceled, and it's just a big worry that people have, that they don't want to say anything uh, crazy because you're gonna offend both sides. It doesn't matter, conservatives, liberals. That's why I'm neither. They can both just screw off. I don't care. I'm a centrist. I look at what I like, what I agree with. I don't care about what party it belongs to. I really don't. I think that's how everyone should be. But yeah, you got to worry about them who are extremists. There's extremists on both sides who, if you don't do something, they're gonna cancel you or whatever. Like it's just, yeah, it's bad. But you just got, like I said, the stressfulness is just so much shit you got to do, and you got to make sure people are happy, because you don't want to upload bad shit, so you try to go for being perfect. Well, at least I try to be. I don't know if other people try to go the extra mile. But worrying about pronunciations and stuff, like, I'm a reading channel. You should get it right when you read shit. You shouldn't be mispronouncing words all the time. That's why if I ever see a word, even if I know the word and I've heard it before, like I just want to be sure that I'm saying it right, especially with drug names, because there's so many long ass names, and sometimes you can't even find the pronunciation, so you're just like guessing. But yeah, because there'll be people in the comment section that say, "Oh, you pronounced that wrong." But there's one guy, I'm not gonna say who it is, but they make iceberg videos, and every minute there's like a mispronounced word, and that bothers me. All right, if it's done many times, but if you do it like once or twice, it's not gonna bother me. But yeah, if you're just constantly doing that, um, you should just try to do your best. And yeah. Next is Miss Pink Flamingo. What got you into YouTube as a content creator interested in your story? Like I said before, I had the idea and I went with it a couple years later, and it worked. Mercedes 2287, what is your worst drug experience? The Benadryl or the Hawaiian Baby Wood Roast? Layla VQ3PZ says, I was addicted to Benadryl for about a year. I have many long lasting effects from it. I was wondering, did abusing Benadryl give you any long lasting symptoms? I don't think I have any long lasting symptoms, but I'm not going to confirm that. I just didn't do it a lot. And when I did do it, it wasn't a lot of them. There was one time, the time where I had the worst trip ever on it, the one that I keep mentioning about the Benadryl, where I took it with alcohol and phenibut, and it was. Don't do that, okay? That's why I almost got crushed by the semi. I didn't even know I was driving, and I shouldn't have been driving because my friend should have took me home, but he forced me to drive home, and I had no Uber or anything, so I had to do it. But yeah, I almost died. The guy beeped his horn really loud. A huge semi on a main street, main bridge over the road. What am I even saying? A bridge over train tracks on a road. Sorry, I'm tired. Um, yeah, that should have never happened. I should have been just fine. I would have been fine if he was able to take me home. Like you got at that point, if someone's too fucked up to drive, don't let them go. Like it's just That's not right to do that. That's because how would you feel if you found out that your friend drove home and got crushed by a semi because you didn't take the time to worry? Who cares what your parents say? Just do it. Leave the car there. Don't worry about what I have to say either. Just do it. I don't even know if I said anything. I just had to agree with it because the guy's parents were so, the father was very strict, but the mother didn't really care. But still, you got to take your friend home by doing that. If not your friend either, just take whoever it is home. If they don't have a ride and they're fucked up, do not let them get on the road, because they're not only going to hurt themselves, but they're going to hurt others. And luckily, none of that happened. They woke me up, the semi, and my eyes were wide open the rest of the way home. Luckily, it was still only like a 12-minute drive from my friend's house to my house, so it wasn't too far. But still, if I had to go on the freeway, probably would have been dead. Next is Death UO 9LC. I hope I'm not too late, but how would you rank addictive drugs? 1 heroin, 2 crack, etc. You're definitely not too late. This is from 11 days ago, and I'm not reading this, so you are perfectly on time. You could have uploaded something right now. Probably the most addicting is fentanyl or heroin probably, but basically fentanyl is in heroin now and all over. You can't really get it differently. I mean, I'm sure it's regular heroin is out there, but I doubt most of it is not cut with fentanyl. Methamphetamine, I think that's pretty addictive to people. Like, it's hard for people to stop that shit. Crack, I guess crack is a little addicting. You can't really rank it. It's all based on a bunch of different shit. But I do think fentanyl would be number 1 for sure. Fentanyl / heroin, and then meth and crack, I guess. Cocaine, maybe, even though I never liked it. But a lot of people do. A lot of people like cocaine. Abusing pills, shit like oxycodone, shit like that, like opiates, that's very addicting. I probably rank it as something like that, I guess. Sex Pun 48. What is your experience with kratom? And if you don't have an experience, why, or what is your opinion of it? I think that anyone who's thinking about taking it, don't do it. Just don't. It is not a safe drug to do. You might think it is by what people are saying, like, oh, it has helped me get off shit. It has been helping me get off of opiates. Like that. If you're on opiates or you're an alcoholic, I recommend it. Okay, you should take it because it's better than doing alcohol or opiates or whatever else you're addicted to. But if you're not doing anything and you want to do kratom, there's no point in doing it. It literally will not help you in any way. It'll be fun the first couple weeks. You'll be like, oh my God, this is so fun. And then after that, it goes straight downhill and you will not have a good time, and it's going to be hard to crawl out of that. So just don't do it. I guarantee you it will not be fun. But just don't do it. And back when I was first starting, I did an advertisement for a kratom company back when I wasn't really, I didn't know it was so strong and so powerful. And I did it because I also had I needed money at the time, and they were paying me just the amount of money I needed. And I wasn't thinking clearly, and I made the fucking ad for it. And I tried to private the video and delete it, but they kept on messaging me, asking me where the video is and why, like, where is it? So I had to keep it up. It's up there still. I'm not going to tell you which video it is. If you find it, good for you. But I'm trying to erase that from my history. I don't think that was a good idea at all. And I apologize if anyone bought that. Because I do not condone it. I do not condone the use of it. And I still think about how stupid I was when I did that. But I was not thinking. I did not know what kratom was like back then. I shouldn't have done it. But you got to move on. We make mistakes. And I hope you will accept this apology. So you can say, fuck you in the comments. I will take it. Next one, Slippery Peter 249 says ranch or blue cheese. What kind of question is it? It's ranch. It is definitely ranch. I don't think blue cheese is bad. Like everyone says it's terrible. I don't think it's bad, but ranch is just, I mean, You put that shit on everything, dude. That ranch is so good. D Paquin 40 says, "How big is it?" Um, the book is like what, 1,200 pages, right? Captain Amity says, "What's your favorite scary movie?" What's your favorite scary movie? Halloween. It has been since I was a kid, but there are some really good other horror movies out there, and it's kind of hard to decide because it has that nostalgic factor, and I still think it's a really scary movie for what it is. Like Halloween is just Michael Myers' perfect horror villain. If they would have just kept it at that, it would have been great. But they had to make sequels, and they had to fucking ruin it. But yeah, that or The Thing, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Shining. What else did I watch? The Fly was really good. I really liked The Fly. Scream has always been up there for me. I always liked A Nightmare on Elm Street. I know the director has had some history, but Jeepers Creepers, go look into that if you want. Just search up Victor Salva. Very terrible person, but he created a very scary movie, and I try to separate the art from the artist. All right, but yeah, I do not support anything that guy did. He's a piece of shit, and he deserves to rot in hell. But yeah, I didn't know that when I was watching when I was a kid. My mom showed it to me. She didn't know. So I just have the movie in my mind, and it is a good scary movie, but terrible person. What else? I liked Misery when I watched it. Yeah, those are pretty much my favorite horror movies. Um, Next one is Fransua2148. Where do you get your video images from? The third channel will ever have other video? Have you seen a suspicious package while working as a mailman? My video images, I think you mean the the videos in my video that I play. I think I found that when I searched up like free background, whatever, and I found it, I kept it. Or if you talk about my thumbnails, like I said, I made it with the AI. I put in a prompt. Yeah. The third channel might have another video. I don't know. I want to, but I made that to be the second channel to replace this one because the main channel got terminated. So I'm gonna guess it probably won't unless something happens, and I might upload something there. But there could be something I really don't know. I've definitely seen some suspicious packages, and I've seen ones that smell like weed. I've shaken some things, and you can hear the pills inside. And I've definitely delivered some sort of drug in the past. I don't know how many times, but I've definitely delivered them. All right, we got my second beer. Alex Cannett 7962 said, "What is a story you have read that stuck in your mind the most? Maybe even putting you off a drug entirely." Um, Probably, blah, blah, blah. Um, The Absolute Horror of Huffing Gasoline. That's a classic video. You can't go wrong with that story. But I was never gonna do gasoline anyway. Um, the nitrous oxide one, that's always been one of my favorites. The one from Kensington, that guy's story really impacted me. Um, yeah, there's a lot that have definitely stuck with me through this time, and like it's just crazy what these people do. And oh, the woman in the jail cell, that's probably my new favorite one. Like I love that one. Uh, it wasn't even so much about drugs. It was just her story about being abused in jail. Like, yeah, that shit was fucked up. Um, Dave Smith, PCFUL says, "What should the combo of Benzodrex and nutmeg be called?" Well, that's a good one. Benzameg, nut Nutsidrex. Ooh, that's a good one actually. Nutsidrex. I like that one. Um, yeah, Nutsidrex. But if it's a combo, if you're flipping, like it should be the spice sneeze. The spice sneeze. Nutsidrex. There you go. Um, Vert F31 says, "Have you ever tried Phenibut? It's about 4 times stronger than Phenibut HCl with some slightly different effects and more risk, of course." No, I haven't, and I will probably stay away from it. But I have heard of it. Um, Nog Odds No Masters says, "What and when was your first bad trip, and what was it like?" First bad trip was definitely that Hawaiian Baby Wood Roast trip. I've been over it. So I will not explain it again, but yeah, that was probably my first bad trip. I didn't really have a bad trip on acid up until that point, so I still never have. But yeah, that one was bad. Metal Sky says, "How many guitars do you own?" I own four. I own two electric. My first one I ever bought, which I don't use anymore. And then my Les Paul, which I use. My acoustic, which I use. And then my lap steel, which I need to start using again because I really want to learn it. Because the pedal steel is nice. Lap steel. What the hell is that? Yeah, I just love the sound of a pedal steel, lap steel. Sounds so beautiful. Um, 16 Mopey says, "If it was possible to try a single drug just once with no consequence, not no consequences, i.e., no risk of addiction or any other issues, what would you choose to try?" Someone said Datura, uranium. Yeah, both of those combined. No, I probably do fentanyl, like straight up shoot up a dose of it. Uh, yeah, like a high dose that you wouldn't die from. I would love it. I would try that shit. Big Schmungy says, "What's your favorite childhood memory?" Um, Honestly, I'm not gonna be able to remember a lot of them, so I'm just gonna remember this one that just popped in my head. When I came back from my friend's house at a sleepover, and my mom was packing her bags, and she said, "Let's go to Cedar Point for 4 days," and we went, and it was a great time. Uh, spur of the moment shit like that. That's how you have a good time. Now we didn't stay at Cedar Point. We stayed in Sandusky and went there for 4 straight days. I was in heaven. But yeah. High coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is our oversoul able to get as high as we do? Um, I mean, they're probably as high as possible. Um, Dalton Girdley 966 says, "How many Miller Lite High Lifes do you think you've had in your lifetime?" Probably over 100 now, at least, right? I don't know. Because I drink them sometimes before, but like past couple months, that's the only beer I've been getting. So, um, yeah, I'd probably say over 100. It's probably more than that, but I don't. I just want to be safe with it. I don't know. 100 sounds like it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Um, but yeah, if I had been buying 12 packs, yeah, I don't know. It's probably over 100, I'd say. Um, No offense, Media 22. No offense. Haha, I get it. Noah Offense Media 22 says, "What's your favorite candy and what's your favorite NBA jersey?" Oat. Um, was I trying to say out or what? Um, what's your favorite candy? My favorite candy. I do like Reese's a lot. I probably choose Reese's. Probably my favorite candy. I mean, can't beat that. I also love Charleston Chews. I just haven't gotten them in a while, but I used to eat those while watching movies. Good times. Favorite NBA jersey. I saw this Tracy McGrady jersey at the store the other day. It was his Magic Days. That was a nice one. I want to get that. Quartz5431 says, "Do you think all drugs should be legalized?" Nope. I think that's a bad idea. ZYZYX4157 says, "Can I send you the song I produced using a clip of you reading a horror acid trip story? I promise it's super dope and psychedelic. Go right ahead. Send it to me." Um, Caveman Media, what's the highest DPH dose you've done? It was probably that day where I was the trip I was talking about. I just kept on taking pills. I don't know how many it was, but it was a lot. Um, Mr. Seriousness 24 times 16 or 24x16. What do you consider a hard drug? Do you even think of it that way? Also, congrats on getting the channel back. Thank you. Hard drug is something that, like, if you get addicted to it, it is very detrimental. It can cause physical and mental effects pretty quickly. And it just changes everything about you. I think that's pretty much a hard drug. Because people list acid as a hard drug, like there's stuff you gotta stay away from. But I don't think acid is a hard drug at all. Um, that's how I think of it that way. And yeah, I do think cocaine, heroin, those are definitely the hardest drugs. Not the hardest ones you could do, but they are hard. They are hard up there. Um, Dude Perfect 69420 says, "What is the greatest guitar riff ever written?" Come on, you gotta ask me this question, dude. It is tough to say. I'm trying to look at my playlist right now, see what's coming up, because I feel like I would have it in my playlist. Cities on Flame with Rock and Roll. That's a really good one, but is it the best? Uh, Heartbreaker is a classic. Um, this is tough to say, man. I don't know. You can't really. This is just like another "What's your favorite song?" kind of question. You can't even answer that. Stagnant Pool by Leafhound. That's a great riff. Oh, Had to Cry Today. That's a great riff too by Blind Faith. That's a really good riff. Sunshine of Your Love. Something by Black Sabbath. I don't know. That's tough to say. You can't really answer that, but those are some good ones that I just listed. Yeah. Favorite metal band? Shroom Boy 432 asking this question. Define metal, because I will say Black Sabbath, I will say Pentagram, but those were before metal was invented. They invented it themselves. Um, but yeah, I'm not like into metal, like modern metal. I'm not into that stuff. But like proto metal, 70s, maybe even 80s metal a little bit, but anything past that, I can't. Um, Quartz 5431 says, "Do you listen to trip reports from other creators, and what are your favorites?" I said my favorites already, so if do I listen to trip reports? Sometimes. I'm honestly, when I go on YouTube, I don't really watch drug content. I'm not like as interested in it as other people are. Like I like making videos about it, but I don't sit down and watch it. I watch them sometimes, but yeah, I do like Vivek and someone that's known. They're my good friends, so I support them. But yeah, I listen to them a couple times. If they release it and I'm already on YouTube or whatever, I'll listen to it, at least mostly part of it. Um, but yeah, Heikel Hires says, "What is your favorite Obama?" Yeah, that's when he killed Osama. When Obama killed Osama, that was my favorite Obama. Um, well, he didn't do it, but he set it up. Pizza Crust VII2415 said, "What is the psychedelic experience you've had that is extremely hard to put into words due to the intensity and or chaos during said experience?" Luckily, I've been able to put into words what I've experienced. Like I said, that Hawaiian Baby Wood Roast trip was definitely something that is, it's hard to explain, but I described it as best as I can. So just go watch it. I messaged it. I've talked about it so many times already. Um, but yeah. Bets Basuezo 9784 says, "Do you stream on YouTube or Twitch? It'll be my first time watching a stream of yours, so I don't know where you do them." No, I do not. I have one live stream on YouTube that's available to watch when I hit 50,000 subscribers last year, but that's about it. I'm not too big on streaming. But yeah, this is basically what when I'm streaming. This is the best you're gonna get, like a long video like this, where I'm just answering questions and talking. So, yeah. Excuse me. Destination 9763 says, "What do you think the future of the channel is gonna be? Are you planning on doing other content besides drugs, like supernatural or other horror stories, like Nightmare, like Mr. Nightmare, so you don't get terminated again?" The future of the channel is probably gonna be the same. You know, we're gonna whatever happens, happens. Hopefully stays up, but you never know with YouTube. I mean, it could go at any moment. After what I've learned, it could just wake up in the middle of the night and it be gone. Um, I do want to do other content. I hope I can. I just got to set my mind to it. And I do love Mr. Nightmare. I would love to do like, creepy stories and shit. Uh, but yeah, I will continue doing drug content. That's why people have subscribed to me in the first place. Like, yeah, people say they like my voice, they like the way I read, but they all start off because they're looking for a drug video. They're not looking that. Once they watch the content, then they start to like the creator, and then they can be like, all right, now I want you to read something else. But most of all, people follow me for the drug videos, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Bodoro 4979 says, "Will the Thought Loop podcast return?" I really want to. I'm gonna do it at some point. I already know that. I'm gonna have to. This is basically like one. I'm just imagine this as a Thought Loop podcast episode where it's a Q&A episode. Just think about that. So yeah, this is one right now. Armadillos 11 Scorps 11S Corpse 41 says, "Coolest place you have been?" Atlantic City. I'd say Atlantic City was really cool. Saw 612. What is your favorite video on your channel? Like I said, probably that jail one I uploaded in January. TG underscore 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 says, "How are you doing?" I'm doing very good, thank you. Jonathan YE1NM says, "I would like to know how or why you got into telling these stories beside having the perfect voice for it. LOLs." Thank you. But yeah, like I said before, I just did it one day and I stuck with it, basically. I mean, it's just that's all that happened. I mean, it's really not that deep, you know. People think it is. People think there's like some, ooh, wow, you're just like, I don't know. But yeah, it just wanted to do it one day because I had the idea and I did it. This next one's Ugly Supermodel TV. How do you see yourself living during the apocalypse? I see myself dying, that's for sure. Um, what's your ideal relationship? One where we can both be upfront with each other and we don't have to keep lies, and just, yeah, basically be upfront and truthful, like, whatever, you know, something like that. You just enjoy things together. That's a quality a lot of people don't have in relationships nowadays. Like, they're just like forcing yourself to get in one. I think women are afraid to be single for longer than a minute, and they choose to stick with relationships that they're not good in. Well, they're good in, but it doesn't fit well. Like, whatever, if their boyfriend's abusive, or even, I mean, the other way around, if the girlfriend is abusive, it's just completely toxic, and they stay with it because they don't want to be single. It's like, dude, do not be afraid to be single. There are better people out there. It is, if you're in this situation, it's a wake up call right now. Just get out. All right, there's better people out there, and I know you don't think so, and maybe you do think so, and you're just afraid. Don't be afraid, because someone will find you. Trust me, you're a woman. There will be people out there looking for you. It's not as easy when you're a man. You know, you got to go do it yourself as a man. But, you know, make it easier for us, you know. Right now, I'm just happy to be alive. That's all I can say. And I'm so tired right now. Brody LOL 6427 says, "Have you ever grown or made your own drugs?" No, but I helped one time. I had root bark delivered to my house. Um, that was fun. We're making DMT. Um, oops. This person says user PH1TM4ZY5I. Definitely get a custom username. Drug of choice, probably like the amphetamines, like I said, the stimulant, the Adderall or Vyvanse or whatever. Um, Ashtrayon Delink says, would you rather take 1.5 grams of penis envy or a gram of sativa in one bowl? I'll probably take the penis envy because I could probably learn something from it. There's nothing that I don't already know that weed is gonna make me feel like I want to actually learn something. But yeah. Shroom Boys 432 opinion on the current wars. They need to fucking stop. I'm sick of seeing innocent kids dying and nothing being happened about it, nothing being fixed about it. Mike Piazza 8811. If there was one thing about society as a whole you could change, what would it be? People thinking before they speak, being more empathetic, shit like that. Kenzie3543, do you have any favorite games? Unfortunately, I do not play any video games. I am so sorry. Quality Cartoons 1062 says, ever just go boots and get some boots and get some boots and get some boots and get some. Yes, I do. 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 I'll say that boots and get some boots and get some boots and get some boots and get some. I do that sometimes. Yes. SI4956 says, what was the best day of your life? These are just like questions I need time to think about this one. I don't know. There's a lot of good days in my life. It's tough to say, dude. I can't answer that. Um Layla VQ3PZ says, if you could give your viewers a little pet name, what would it be? I did have a little name for them. I would like Little Trippers or something. Um, Forgot what it was. Little pet name. Well, I've been calling Ozzy Oinksy, like a pig, like Oink. Or Smozzy, Smozerton, Smozzy Pants. But I don't know what I would name you guys. I'd name you guys Lovely People. That's what I would name you. Crytek1337, where's your OnlyFans? I don't know. It honestly might be coming pretty soon because being demonetized, shit, I feel like I probably make a ton of money on OnlyFans, so I might lose my dignity, but at least I'll have money. I still have money. I'm good. I was just really, really comfortable before, and now it's just like they took that shit away from me, and now it's just like, well, now I got to work extra hard at my normal job. Um, Hutch2811 says, in your opinion, what's the best Led Zeppelin song? Probably Days Confused. There's so many good ones though. There's not a bad one except for the grunge. But yeah, you can say that about anything. That's the Way, Going to California. I like those are probably my three favorite. Our Heartbreaker. Those definitely top four, I'd say. Um, Gralt D279, favorite snack to munch on. Recently, I've been eating Ruffles chips, and I've been using the Baby Bell cheese. I rip off like a piece of it and grab a couple chips and eat that together. It's a very good snack. Um, Nicotine Psychosis says, if you could make the world better in one way, what would it be? Like I said, probably be more empathetic. I feel like people are lacking a lot of empathy nowadays. People don't understand people's pain. Not that you have to understand people's pain, but just not be so, insensitive about it. Like, if something doesn't happen to you, it doesn't mean it can't happen. I just hate that. Monkey Cool says, you got a six pack, asking for a friend. No, I don't, but I can go get one. um, Sophia World Blender says, when will you come over and tell me stories until I fall asleep? I'll fly you out, BBG. If you want to fly me out, I'll read stories. Maybe I'll start charging for that. Honestly, I could do that instead of OnlyFans. Hecker9974 says, "Are you still working as a mailman?" Yep, just was working today. I got my new route, and customers already love me on there. So, um, what was the worst story you've ever been submitted? Fake or downright unbelievable? Honestly, I couldn't really remember which ones, but I have skipped a couple that are just like, I'm not gonna read this. This is just, you could just tell. But people think some stories like, I'm not gonna read a story on my channel that I don't think happened, like, because you just gotta imagine what they're going through. But I have read stuff like there's an Arrowwood one where this guy fucked a cat. Um, I don't know. I just feel like that did not happen. They were on acid and they were like being very egotistical the whole story, and I'm like, I can't read this. Oh, you know what? I think I did read it, but um I actually said this might be fake in it. I forgot which one that was. Maybe it was shrooms. I think that was a collab with all the drug tubers. Maybe I didn't put that in, but I forgot. But it was definitely not believable, that story. Shroomboy432 says, "Do you listen to Joe Rogan?" Sometimes. I mean, I'm not really. I don't know. It. I don't find like podcasts as interesting as other people do now. Like I used to listen to them, but I'm not. I don't know. I think Joe Rogan's a cool guy and everything, but I just don't really enjoy the show that much. I don't think it's. I don't know. It's interesting, but um, it's just the interviews with some of the people on there are very good, but I'm not really too interested in it as much as I used to be. I used to watch them a lot more, but now I don't know. I don't have time to listen to this crap. It's not crap, but just like overall podcast is crap. Um, I just like listening to music, and honestly, when I'm at work, I listen to music, of course, and I listen to YouTube videos about whatever I'm interested that day. Like today, listening to Breaking Bad analyses. That was a lot of fun. I'm gonna do that tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. Since I just finished the series, I got all these videos I can watch now. Um, Pizza Man FTW says, or 3144 says, "How old are you?" I am 24. I'll be turning 25 soon enough. Um, OMG, it's Tengu says, "Would you be interested in doing a subscriber reading like we read the stories?" Could be. I can't just, you know, if you're not a good narrator, like I don't want, I gotta have like a good reader on here at least, so I have to make sure it sounds good before I put it on there, because some people just read and don't like, show any. I'm not saying I show emotion, but you gotta go like with the flow of the story. It's not just reading, all right. You gotta do a whole bunch of other crap that people don't understand. It's like you're not just reading these stories and you're saying, all right, this video is done. You seriously got to go in there, feel the emotion, feel what this person is feeling, talk like it, and edit it a very long time. You got to make it good. You can't just say, hey, I'm reading the story. I'm just going to read it in a normal voice and we're going to be done here. You cannot do that. Vela Pierce says, "Could you see yourself getting addicted to alcohol?" Of course I can. I've been addicted to it before. Just not that very long, but I could definitely see it happening. Um, Arcola3619 says, "Who is your current favorite NBA player and why?" Don't say Draymond Green. Don't worry, I will not say Draymond Green. Um, I still love LeBron so much. He's iconic for Cleveland. Like, there's just no way I can't pick him. But I also like Nikola Jokic a lot. I think he's really cool, and Anthony Edwards. I like them. But yeah, I used to hate Steph Curry so much because Cleveland, but now I like him now. But yeah, Draymond Green is a piece of shit. Brian Clean, why make all your content around such a difficult topic for YouTube, and what got you into this field? Well, honestly, I didn't expect it to get any subscribers or views, so that's why I did it. Um, but yeah, I uh, I don't know why I did it. I just felt like it. Um, but yeah, It's not a good idea. If you're gonna start a YouTube channel, do not do it around drugs, trip reports, or nothing like that. You're you have a chance of your shit being taken down just instantly like that. And I don't want that to happen to any of you. I would just, do iceberg shit because that shit's very popular right now. Like there's iceberg video for everything. There's probably an iceberg video about my channel somewhere. It's all over the place. So do that. True crime. Everyone's always into true crime. Just go into that. Do not do these drug content because you will most likely get taken down. And it's only a matter of time. Um, but yeah. Oh, are we on our last question now? My dog, MAMR says, I want to know if your mother knows about your homosexuality. Oh, she knows. I viciously made out with my best friend and sucked his cock right in front of her, and she watched and enjoyed it. But yeah, that's all the questions we got for today. Got to do this again soon. I got a lot of the same questions about what your worst drug trip was. Of course, everyone's always interested in it, and I can't blame people for not being for being interested in it because it's very definitely an interesting question. I've just said it so many times, like I'm just like, all right, it's out there a lot. I've said it before. I have videos online. Like I'm not gonna get into any deeper into it than just being a vague, summary of what happened, because I've just explained it so many times. But yeah, that was a Q&A. Had a Miller High Life and a half, Miller High half and a half, High Life half, Miller. Yeah, that was fun. Do another video pretty soon. Coconut part 2, maybe, maybe.